Hello there. Something a bit different this time. I'm actually down south, way down south on Salisbury Plain. And I'll tell you why as I'm walking along. But for now, bye-bye now. Yes, so it's a very different video this time. Quite a short walk in to the campsite, wherever it is. But I'm on an area down south in Wiltshire called Salisbury Plain. Quite famous or infamous, whatever your perception of the place is. But I used to serve down this area when I was in the military, in the army. And I'm down this weekend, this is Friday, I'm down this weekend for a reunion of those guys I used to serve with. And normally we meet up on the Friday, a few drinks, then have a big social on the Saturday. But I decided I'm going to do a bit different this year. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to camp out, obviously, and I'm going to camp out on a feature called the Kiwi Hill. Yo, so lovely day for it. It's just a bit warmer down here. It was like little few degrees warmer. It don't make a difference. So I'm going up Beacon Hill, or sometimes called Kiwi Hill, and I'll go on to why we call it Kiwi Hill later. But throughout this area, Wiltshire, there's a lot of carvings into hillsides. Some of it very famous. And the reason for that being is just because just below the soil line is loads and loads of chalk, and over the years they've dug that away and made various badges, various symbols. Some go back thousands of years, some are relatively modern, and in the scale of things, the Kiwi, which is carved just up here, is also quite modern. Right, I'm going uphill now. I don't want you to see me breathing heavy. When I was a young soldier, I was initially based in Old Sarum near Salisbury, and then about 18 months later we moved to the big garrison called Bulford Camp. Now on top of that, or overlooking Bulford Camp, is a feature called the Beacon Hill, and sometimes we refer to that feature as a kiwi, and that's the bird I've got some affiliation to. Now Salisbury Plain, and like most military training areas throughout the world, I've got one thing in common: they've never been really over-farmed. And because of that, contrary to what you can imagine, tanks and guns going off everywhere, there is a bit of that, but because they've never been over-farmed, the wildlife, the foliage and fauna, sometimes you got the rarest examples of it. They only exist on training areas. But you didn't know that, did you? We used to train on this feature quite a lot because it's the only hill nearby, and we used to run up and down it umpteen times to make up for the length and train across it. And so you've got that side of it, but more importantly, the reason why it's referred to as a Kiwi Hill, because just over here is a massive Kiwi carving into the hillside, and I'm going to explain to you why is that there and why I care for it. Now the origins of the Kiwi, and I'll keep it short and simple because I'm going to refer you to a couple of books which are a great read if you're interested, but the origin of it is, after World War I, thousands of New Zealand troops were posted, or billeted if you wish to use that terminology, in Bulford, in an area called Sling Camp or Sling Barracks, which have gone because they're the old wooden things. You can use your imagination. And what I'll do throughout this, I'll put up pictures. And so they came back to the UK after fighting bloody horrendous war for a few years, and these guys were hoping to get back to New Zealand, you know, and they weren't wimps. They're originally from farming and mining stock, you know, they were tough lads. Just fought a war, you know, so they weren't wimps in any way. But they wanted to get home, and there's just no facilities to get them home, you know. And they were stuck in sling barracks for ages. Then we had pandemics of flus, your COVIDs, if you will. They came in, sort of killing them in the numbers, you know, and it was horrendous for them. And they'd had enough. And basically they rioted and they mutinied. And eventually that was quelled. Sad when soldiers do that, but sometimes they got no choice. And to be honest, if I'd been there, I'd probably been one of them. So they rioted. The riot was quelled, as they usually are in the military. And they made some dialogue with these guys, and they basically were just bored to death. You can imagine it. And sometimes quite literally. So they decided amongst them they were going to dig a massive kiwi into the hillside up here. Now this area is well known for its chalk just below the soil line. It's also known for other badges carved in, some of them very prehistoric, some of them fairly modern. And in the scale of things, this is quite a modern one. It's only a couple hundred years old. So, yeah, that's the history. What I'll do, I'll refer to some books. There's a friend of our unit, called Colleen Brown, who's wrote some great books on it. And I'll put a link up here somewhere to her book so you can get them if you're interested. A good read, really are all put together. New Zealand lady. Kiwi became badly overgrown to the point it was not really visible. This is the very early 80s. And our boss at the time, a guy called Danny Fisher, very good boss. Don't blush if you're watching this, Danny. He went out for one of his runs, which we all did, out for one of his runs, and he came across it. And he knew what it symbolised. And I kind of thinking back in my head, maybe I'm getting old and over-analysing things, that they were quite happy, whose they are, I don't know, for it to fade away. Because it did kind of represent rebellion. In my eyes it did anyway. And I think they were happy for it to fade away. Even though there was some attempt to maintain it over the years, it just faded away every time. So basically Danny found it overgrown. And he mobilised us, the whole lot of us. And we came up to this feature and we dug it out and we reclaimed the kiwi. And I'm glad we did it. Vehicles, shovels, spades. I put up loads of pictures, picture paints 1,000 words. And we dug it out again and redefined it and made a feature of it, and quite rightly so. And what I'm proud to say is that initially we were young lads, you know, we didn't really get what the graph was about. But looking back now, slightly mellower maybe, you understand, you know, they had to be preserved. It was a tribute to those wonderful soldiers. And a reminder sometimes, you know, that things go wrong and they were treated bad. But since we did it, and I think 81 I think it was, I'll correct myself, I'll put the date up here, it's been maintained pretty well, a bit on and off still, but pretty well over the years. And there's still obviously military in Bulford camp, and our namesake, our signal squadron, are still participating in the cleanup of it, and it's a legacy that's just continued, and I think that's quite wonderful. But not only that, we also, well, Danny also introduced a march and shoot competition called the Kiwi Trophy, and it used to be 14 miles around Salisbury Plain, ending on the feature on the Kiwi Hill, or the Beacon Hill, and it was arduous, you know, it was hard work, and you know, the guys just be sprinting around it. Now what was nice, several years ago, and I was 58 at the time, we went back and did it again, all of us. Not all the whole squadron, because obviously people scattered, but a good number of us went back from various areas and we ran it again, the Kiwi. We did all right, you know, for old blokes. Yeah, it was good. And so that legacy continues, and it's wonderful, quite wonderful. I'm proud to be part of it. Well, I've been wandering round and round. I still haven't found a place to pitch my tent. I think I might go back here. To be honest, I'm spoilt for choice, but I'm not going to put it up yet. Always put the tent up late o'clock, as we know, and down first light. The days are getting shorter now, so that does help with pitching a tent. You're not spending too long in the tent. But then again, you're not waiting around for hours to pitch it up like you are high summer. So great. So I'm going to go back over here, have another look, and I think I might pick this as my spot. Yeah, I think I found a good spot here. Way out of the way, out of sight, out of mind. I'm not stealth camping, but it's always best to be out of sight if you can help it. Because I'm quite close to the path, about 100 metres from the path, which is bit close normally, but you know, you're limited on training areas. Last thing I want is a tank running over my head. Yes, great little spot that. What do you think? Yeah, just side of the little copse, little forest. It's not actually inside, so there's no overhead. And I've got this little tree line here, just hiding me from the track, even though the track's quite a way off. I'm happy with that. Excellent. Tell you something, it's lovely and sunny down here and dry, but it's getting colder. I think I'm going to get in my pack and get a layer on. Yeah, I think I'll do that. That's me all set up now. Go around this little copse here. Look at that. How stealthy is that? As you can see, I'm in the Scarp today. Love this tent. Love it with a passion. Right, so I'll have a quick look inside on my Thermarest mat. I showed you before, but it's one of those roll top type ones. Yeah, so instant deflation. I love it. Rubber scent sleeping bag. To be honest, it could still be in my quilt. It's still quite warm, but I brought my bag. Why not? Love it. So it's going dusk now. The sun's well behind the horizon, and I'm gonna have a brew in a minute and have another chat. What an excellent stove. MSR Pocket Rocket Deluxe. Absolutely love it. Ta-da! Morning. So what's the plan for today? Well, I'm gonna get up in a minute, get packed up, have a brew, and then I'm gonna drop back down. Make my way to Salisbury, and I'm going to continue with the reunion for the weekend. Have a few pints and that. It's been a good combination of doing things. So I've had a night in the canvas, and then a night with the lads down in Salisbury. What can get better? We'll have another chat on the way down. I think I've covered all the base points about why I'm here and what the Kiwi means to us all. And yeah, I'm glad I've done this. Very different. See you later. That's me all packed up. Enough of the Kiwi. I've probably bored you to death with that and my affiliation to it. But what I'm going to do now is drop down into Bulford, hopefully find a taxi and go meet up with the rest of the lads. You know, it was 40 years ago when we all surfed together. Still a very close-knit community, a tribe, a family, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, we get on really well, and it's, you know, it's testimony to the work we did at the time. We trained hard, worked hard, played hard. It was a good time, a special time. So I'm going to have a bimbo past the Kiwi, and when as I'm walking along, rather than going about the Kiwi again, I'm going to reflect on my kit, how it performed last night. To be honest, it was a lovely night. I had a couple of glasses of wine, nice and warm, laid up. Can't beat it, can you? Superb. Yeah, so starting with the tent, Scott one. Like I said yesterday, I think it's falling out of favour with a lot of backpackers. I really can't get it. It's wonderful. The modifications are made. The clips rather than putting it through the sleeve make it so slick to put up. Can't fault that really. Sleeping system, the thermarest mat that I showed you earlier. Rabbit scent bag, lovely and warm and toasty. And cook kit, mentioned the Pocket Rocket Deluxe, can't fault it. When I talk about cook kit, when I'm doing these quick overnighters, I don't really eat that much. I just snack, because I know like later on today I'm going to get a big meal in me. But if I was out for a few days, then obviously you do make more of an effort, but I don't. Just have a brew in that. Yeah, so I've got the Hocker, I can't remember the name of them now, trail shoes on. They're like a boot kind of thing, come up to the ankle. People rave about them, you know, but I just don't get it. They're okay. They're okay for hiking, I suppose, but for any real proper work across moorland, etc., I don't think they're that good. But you know, I'll wear them out and then I won't get any more. Montane, I love Montane kit. Got the trousers on, got the top. I think it's a Rab, windproof, waterproof, that I wear for a lot of time. Even during the summer I wear a jacket like this because I like the pockets, being able to stash stuff quite easily. So yeah, that's my kit in brief. Yeah, so I'm dropping down to Bulford camp. It's a lot bigger than my day, but that kind of makes sense. A load of troops pulled back from Germany. They had to house them somewhere, so it's been built up. There's another garrison up the road there, Tidworth. It's quite a huge setup. Let me turn it around and show it you. It's like a small town now. There you go. Yeah, don't look massive, but compared to how it was, it really is obviously built up. There's loads of little garrisons around here. The Salisbury Plain, lovely area. Some areas you just don't go near because there's tanks driving around, you know, you'd be silly too, but I know this area quite well and I know it's more pedestrian than military training. Surprised I didn't see many people out last night, you know. Mad. I think I saw one lady walking a dog. We used to be all over this, running in. Times changed, I suppose. Sounding old now, aren't I? But I think that's it for this video. It's been a good one, a bit of history. The videos I took earlier yesterday are a bit hodgepodge, so I'm gonna have to do some serious editing on that, but I'll put it together at some stage and get it on the channel for you. So see you soon. I don't know where, I don't know when, but it's soon hopefully. And bye bye now.